So we're a couple months removed from C2E2, but they've already announced some huge guests. So my question for this week, of the guests that have already been announced, which by the time you guys are listening to this, who knows? Maybe they've added even more amazing people. But of the people that have been announced so far, who are you most excited to see? Tabitha, let's start with you.
Every time they add someone new from the Lord of the Rings, my heart gets just a little happier because I know that panel is going to be incredible, and I'm so excited.
So is there like a specific person or just Lord of the Rings?
All of them.
Okay.
The cast of Lord of the Rings.
For me, it's not even a comic creator right now, but author TJ Klune, one of my favorite authors. I just finished 2 of his books because as I make Tabitha Want to Die, I read a lot of books at the same time. But anyway, I was hoping to get another one read by the time we go up to C2E2. I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, I love his writing style. I love, the positivity that's in his books, and kind of same thing, like assuming he has a panel, I think that's going to be a really entertaining one as well. Matt.
Sadly, at this point, it's a kind of a tie between TJ Klune and the Lord of the Rings cast for me.
How original.
Right, I know. I couldn't come up with anything better because you guys stole them. To be fair, I am, in general, I'm just excited for the star quality of the guests that have been announced so far. It's been a while since we've seen the likes of Andy Serkis and TJ Klune and Elijah Wood, and we've got John Boyega and a number of other bigger names that I don't think we've seen in quite a while. So just kind of in general, I'm excited for the star power that they've managed to pull for this year's show.
Lydia.
I'm excited for a couple of them. I just realized today that there's going to be some people from Once Upon a Time there. Regina, Zelina, and Robin are all going to be there. So that's really exciting. But overall, I have to agree with Tabitha and Matt. I'm really excited for all the Lord of the Rings people. And I swear, if they add Viggo Mortensen, I may die of a geek heart attack.
How is a geek heart attack different from a regular heart attack?
Your heart palpitates when he opens the gate.
Your heart palpitines?
Dun, 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 dun.
Where's my bell?
Is this the first foot shame of the year?
Yes. Is that the first shame of the year?
It is.
I think so.
And it was a foot shame?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when we don't have any shows during January. Yay for my little emotional breakdown. It's fine. I'm fine.
We're just calling it Dry January.
Sure. Except it was not. You're listening to The Geek Awakens with Mitch,
Matt,
Tabitha,
And Lydia.
So, keeping on with C2E2, like we said, it's a couple months away, but this is going to be our last of these types of shows before C2E2. We're going to drop a Guilty Pleasure Dumpster Fire. We'll also drop a Comic Sans Drinks, but then after that, I am in a play, and I knew it was going to be a big role. I got my script and I was highlighting and I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of highlighters. So I don't think I was quite prepared, but it is what it is. I'm super excited. Death of a Salesman. It's going to be April 3rd through the 6th at the Hoagland Center for the Arts. So if you are in Springfield, then I don't know, come check it out because it'd be fun. But anyway, we're talking about C2E2. So this would probably be a good time to bring it up because we're not going to talk about it again before then. So we already talked about some of those celebrities that are going to be coming up. Other cast members from shows like Outlander, Futurama, Psych, a bunch of others are going to be there. Yeah, like they've also announced. Oh, Starship Troopers. I'm kind of surprised you didn't mention that, Tabitha.
So I kind of forgot about that because when they announced it, I remember seeing it and getting really excited about it, but I think I was not experiencing dry January.
Wasn't that like the first thing that they announced? I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah.
So among the, like other people that, other than who we've talked about, Katie Seagal, Denise Richards, Billy West are all going to be there. Comic creators, Charles Soule, Ryan Brown, Humberto Ramos, Joel Jones, Mark Brooks, a bunch of others have already been announced.
Tom King's on that list.
Yeah, Tom King, I feel like, is usually at C2E2.
Has he been?
I think so.
Okay, I may have missed that.
Yeah, I left off some of the bigger names that I usually see there, and honestly, I think some of these guys I usually see at C2E2 anyway. But yeah, and then so they're so far been announced for Artist Alley. In addition to TJ Klune, Jim Butcher has been announced for the Writer's Block. So that's, I've never read anything from him, but I guess that's a good thing.
Jim Butcher, apologies, is a mixed bag when it comes to his books. No, not a mixed bag.
Not a mixed bag.
I mean,
just a sexist piece of shit.
Yeah. It's,
So you will not be at that panel.
I might go protest at that panel.
yeah, everything's male gaze.
If I wanted to read about how a
mean-
man looks at a woman's...
No, not
No,
with
not-
the with the eyes, not the hand.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll go protest.
So, new this year to C2E2 is the Tavern, where people can play RPGs, LARP, or pick up something new at the tavern. Pick up like a new hobby at the Tavern Workshop. It's going to be on level 5 of McCormick Place, which I initially thought that the Tavern was going to replace the Yard, which is like in the middle of the... Yeah, but with it being on a completely different level, obviously not. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. It's like they're leaning into that whole Western theme that they've got going on this year. So that's pretty neat. C2E2 is April 11th through the 13th at McCormick Place in Chicago. We are going to be there for all of the excitement. I can't wait. My wallet can wait, but...
My wallet's already crying.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what my taxes are for. So let's go ahead and open up the pull list. What's on our pull list this week? And we've got just a couple books to talk about this week. The first one is Cruel Kingdom. It's number 2. It's an anthology out now from Oni Press / EC Comics. This is the second issue of EC Comics' first dark fantasy title. This anthology is full of brave knights, foreboding wizards, and brutality and terror. I know that we talked about the first issue, and we've talked about some of these other anthologies that they've done. For whatever reason, like, I'm not normally a fantasy guy. Like wizards, dragons, all that kind of stuff doesn't really do it for me. For whatever reason, I am really leaning into these anthologies. They're a lot of fun. This second issue was fantastic. Like, it started off with a story about like a knight who gets a sword that basically makes him like immune to stuff. Like, so like not necessarily immortal, but like, but things don't go the way that he thinks they're going to go. So that was really cool to see. And then I don't know, just like some of these like short stories, it's like I get to the end of it and it's like I want more. I want these to continue on, but sadly it's not going to. The next book is Rick and Morty, Maximum Trio. It's out now from Oni Press, written by Brockton McKinney with art by Jarrett Williams. So Rick and Morty must outrun the likes of Chicken Skin Dog Skull, Side note, every time I read that when I was making my notes, I thought it said chicken shit. So I had to try very hard not to say that just now. So outrun the likes of chicken skin dog skull and fast food mascot zombies as they try to figure out just why the musical villain Concerto is mad at Rick. I only read like the first part of this. I'm into it. It did kind of like this first, because it's broken up. It's a collection of like 3 different issues.
Mm-hmm.
I only read the first issue, and it was one of those where it's like, I'm kind of ready for it to be over. I enjoyed it. There are tons of puns, very, very punny. But yeah, I think that I'm going to go back and revisit it and finish it. But Matt, I know that you did read it. What were your thoughts?
So I enjoyed this just for the dad jokes, for the puns. They are in abundance throughout all 3 issues. Like, it just does not stop. I will say that in general, it didn't super feel like a Rick and Morty story. Rick not quite doing his standard thing. Morty kind of does his regular thing. But I don't know. This one is just kind of a fun, interesting kind of story. It's a kind of a twist. I don't know. Like I said, I think maybe I enjoy this one because I know sometimes like the Rick and Morty ones try too hard to replicate the episodes. And this one does something different by almost pulling away from that and focusing more on like almost like the mystery of like who this guy is and why he's after Rick. And he's not after Morty at all. Morty's just along for the ride, and like unhappily in most cases. But I don't know. It kind of has a fun twist at the end to try and figure out, you know, who this guy is and why he's after Rick. And it's not any kind of twist you can figure out. Like, there's no indication like why Rick would have any knowledge of who this guy is. It's just kind of like at retcon. Like, you get to the end and he's like, oh yeah, I'm your arch nemesis from, 25 years ago, or, you would never remember me. And it's very obscure, but at the same time, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I did enjoy this one.
All right, let's go to Trailer Takedown.
Let's get ready for Trailer Takedown!
We've got 4 books to talk about. Or no, not 4 books. 4 movies to talk about. They are all part of franchises, and at least, well, I guess they all are kind of like restarting the franchise a little bit. 3 of them come out in July. The other one comes out in May. I was really hoping that other one was also going to come out in July, but sadly no. So the first matchup is Fantastic Four: First Steps versus Jurassic World: Rebirth. Lydia, let's start with you.
I don't know why, but the Fantastic Four trailer just bugged me. Like, it almost doesn't feel like an actual movie. It feels more like a fan-made thing, and Pedro Pascal's just randomly in there somehow.
Which tracks?
Yeah, which does track. But I don't know if it's just because of how campy it feels compared to a lot of the other ones that we've had or what, but it really bugged me, and it does not feel like something I want to see, even disregarding like the overabundance of comic book movies we've had recently. Just that one in particular, just something's grating on my nerves, and I can't put my finger on why. Jurassic World was the other one. Mm-hmm. So Natasha Romanoff is now a hired bodyguard for dinosaurs?
Yes.
Not gonna lie though, I would still watch this over the other one, and I have only seen the original Jurassic Park movie. Finally, I don't have any frame of reference for the rest of them, so I don't even know how they got here. But Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey, I will take way over the top of the Fantastic Four. So I'm going to give all of my points to Jurassic World.
Jonathan Bailey was in that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which one was he?
The dude with
Glasses?
the glasses.
The nerdy guy?
Like he
Yeah.
was
Did
all over
not-
that trailer.
Did not know that was Jonathan Bailey.
Are you? Should we check your vision?
Maybe. But see, where you were kind of weirded out by the Fantastic Four trailer, I thought that they did a fantastic job with it. Granted, my knowledge of Fantastic Four is limited. However, with this trailer, it felt way more like Fantastic Four than that Fantastic Four movie that came out with like Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan a few years back. It felt way more like that family than that movie did.
I will give you that one.
Yeah. The Thing looks fantastic. I need to stop using fantastic as an adjective for this movie. The Thing looks wonderful. Johnny Storm looks like he's going to be a himbo in this movie, which is accurate for that character. Mr. Fantastic, just like I know that. Okay, I'll say this: Pedro Pascal is not Daddy in Fantastic Four. Pedro Pascal is a father figure in this movie.
Still daddy.
And Sue Storm, like she looks like she's going to, kind of keep not just him grounded, but like the rest of the family grounded. Also, we got a shadow of Galactus. Give it to me right now. Feed it into my veins. Very, very, very excited about this movie. Jurassic World. I think I've seen the first Jurassic Park and then the first Jurassic World, and that's about it. I enjoyed this trailer. I did think that they did a good job of kind of explaining where we were at with this movie and where things are going to go. But that said, like, I still am way more excited for Fantastic Four. I'm giving that 7 points and 3 for Jurassic World. Tabitha.
There's a cat.
Should I go to Matt first?
The cat's going to get in Lydia's boot.
I would highly recommend not doing that.
I really liked the Fantastic Four trailer. It's giving me like Fantastic Four meets Mad Men, but in like a quirky, like mid-century kind of way. Pedro Pascal is always daddy, so you take that back, Mitch. I unabashedly really like the other Fantastic Four movie. I think this is just going to be a completely different spin on it, so I'm excited to see that. And you put Jonathan Bailey in anything right now, and I'm going to watch it. So I'm going to go 5 and 5 because I can't decide who I like more right now.
Matt.
I think the thing I like most about the Fantastic Four movie, which reminds me, so caveat here when I get this, is the fact that this is set in like the 60s, like Mad Men type era. You get the shot of the Fantastic car in the trailer, which looks perfect, like spot on. Really love that. I think they've done a good job already with the look for Thing. For some of the CGI, I already seen that. Didn't see any stretching from Mr. Fantastic, so
Which was weird.
you got everybody else's power but his. I don't know. It looks like it's going to be good. I'm excited for Galactus to see him as literally a big bad. But I will admit that as much as I like the trailer, it didn't really get me excited because I feel like it's kind of a Batman situation. We're getting the origin story that we already know. Like every time we get Fantastic Four, oh God, they went into space, they hit radiation, they came back different. Same shit, different day. Like, give me a story about them to make me care about them as a family or as people. Don't give me a reboot of their origin that we already know. So we'll see if we get more in another trailer. We'll go from there. Jurassic World. I have seen the entire original trilogy. I've seen the first of the Jurassic World movies. I haven't seen the other two. I enjoy the lore that they've built around all of this based on 2 books from Michael Crichton. Those 2 books are impeccable. They're fantastic. They're amazing. I like how we're kind of getting some backstory. We're kind of getting a refresher. You're here for Jonathan Bailey. I'm here for Scarlett Johansson being a badass yet again. Also, you're going to throw in Mahershala Ali as like a hired gun. Thumbs up for that. As of right now, I'm more excited about the Jurassic Park movie than I am Fantastic Four, just based on the trailers. So I'm going to go 7 and 3. Oh, I forgot about my caveat for Fantastic Four. I saw a mock-up of a poster of the 4 characters, and the Thing poster was just a rock hand from like the Addams Family. So it was Thing as
Nice.
Thing,
Oh, nice.
which I really enjoyed.
So moving on is going to be Jurassic World. Jurassic World wins 25-15. I want to counter your origin story complaint real quick before we move
Orange
on.
story.
Whatever.
Is that a Thing joke?
Yeah.
Maybe. So one of the reasons why we don't need a Batman origin story anymore is because all of the Batman movies have done phenomenal. Maybe not phenomenal, but have been done well enough that we don't need it anymore. With Fantastic Four, every time they try to do a new iteration of it, it doesn't stick. So you're going to get, you're going to get those new fans who are coming into it who don't know the origin story. Like, you can pull just some random Joe off the street and ask them, hey, what's Batman's origin story? And they can tell you. Not everybody can say that with Fantastic Four.
That's fair.
I get what you're saying, that, yes, we've seen it before. But I think for this instance, I think this is the one time that we need it. What? Just use a 4. I think this is maybe the last time that we actually do need it. If they reboot it again and they try to do an origin story, I will agree with you.
Okay.
But so Jurassic World is going to meet the winner of Superman versus Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm going to make this real quick and easy. Superman gets all my points. A, I've already been excited about it. B, this, even this 30-second spot was just amazing. Like, we get a really good look at Lex Luthor. We see the first trailer, there were kind of like glimpses of hope, but this like 30-second thing was like just chock full of hope. And I know that James Gunn is going to do a phenomenal job with, this property. I can't wait for it. Final Destination. I about left the room at the very first second when that girl had like her tongue like held. I thought she was being tortured, but turns out she was getting a tongue piercing. And then like I started to get a little bit better. I was like, okay, maybe I can at least throw this a couple points because, they're still doing kind of a good job. And then we see the tattoo artist like get the chain like stuck to his nose ring, and no, you cannot pay me, especially like how they've done like some trailers where like what they're showing you is not maybe necessarily going to be in the film, It's just kind of like more of a teaser than anything. Assuming that scene is in that movie, you cannot pay me to go into that movie theater and watch that movie. No, thank you. Goodbye. Superman, all my points. Lydia.
I'm just still amused that you said Superman was going to be facing the people from Final Destination. I don't know. That amused me.
I'm glad I could amuse you.
I don't feel like that's going to be a very fair fight for some people, but you know. Not going to lie. I'm a little bit biased now thanks to my husband, but about the only thing about the Superman trailer that made me go, hey, is the fact that there's crypto. Like, can I just have a movie just about the dog? I'd be happy. Final Destination. I'm a horror movie person. Not necessarily all about the gore, but it didn't bug me as much as it bugged you.
Yeah, I was visibly shook.
I say, and which is funny because I get like very empathetic for stuff like that. So it's just like, ow, ow, ow. But I'd still watch it. So I'm going to give Final Destination 6 points and Crypto gets 4.
Specifically crypto.
Specifically Crypto.
Tabitha.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Lydia here. I enjoy the Final Destination movies. Also, that kill was incredibly creative.
Right?
I like the Final Destination movies when they use like the environment around somebody to find a way to kill them. Granted, I'm sure there will be something in this movie that will traumatize everyone and we'll never look at something again. But it is what it is. I cannot take this guy they have cast as Superman. I've never seen anyone look less like Superman in the face in my existence. This guy looks like an accountant that is daydreaming that he's Superman. And
He's a cosplayer.
Yes. Like, that's literally what it looks like. He looks like some bro who's like, I don't know, even, like, I can't buy the casting of this. I am going to give points for Crypto, though, because sign me up for Superdog. If this whole movie was just Crypto, 10 out of 10. All my points. I'm going to give 3 points to Superman and 7 points. Wow. I do math for a living, people. 7 points to Final Destination.
Matt.
I'm going to go with Tabitha because the Final Destination movies where the deaths are like the ultimate in Murphy's Law are the ones that are the most intriguing to me. Like, everything that could go wrong, did go wrong, will go wrong, and ends up with this guy dying miserably. And that is kind of fantastic in a way. While I am excited for the Superman movie based on the previous trailer, I'm with Lydia and Tabitha on this one. The only thing that really gets any points for me on this one is the extra shot that you see of Crypto. The scene of him flying like right at your face, like, I don't need to stare up your nose as you're flying through the air. Like, I just don't need that. It doesn't give me a sense of like speed or excitement or fascination or anything. It just makes me like try and count your nose hairs, and I'm like, I don't need to count Superman's nose hairs. So I'm gonna go 7 for Final Destination and 3 for Crypto.
So I just had a thought because of you talking about that shot like that. I finally got to see Wicked, and we accidentally ended up going to see the 3D version.
No,
Which was awesome, by the way. They have really like upped their game with 3D. I'm just now imagining going to a 3D showing of Superman and having that scene and just like having him fly straight at your face out of the screen. Yes.
just reach forward and try and pick his nose.
So we've got a tie. Both Superman and Final Destination have 20. So, yeah. So they both move on to the finals. So the finals are Jurassic World Rebirth versus Superman versus Final Destination Bloodlines. Give you guys a couple of seconds to figure out your points. Matt, you spoke first. What are your points?
I'm going to go 5 for Jurassic World. Because honestly, of the 3, I'm actually the most excited about that. 4 for Final Destination and 1 again for Crypto.
Final Destination still gets absolutely nothing from me. I'm giving Superman 8 points and Jurassic World 2. Tabitha.
I'm going to give 1 point to Superdog, and I'm going to give 9 points to Jurassic World. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to watch Final Destination unless it like happens to be on TV or something, or not TV, streaming, and I'm tired.
Lydia.
So Matt actually stole my points exactly how I was going to give them. So 5 for Jurassic World, 4 for Bloodlines, and 1 for Crypto.
Okay, we're all giving points to the dog. Except for Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch, I love that you're excited.
Thanks.
That's important to me, that you know that we're excited that you're excited.
But we're going to be excited from afar.
Yes.
Like a different theater.
So in third place is Final Destination with 8 points. Superman comes in second with 10, and this week's wiener. This week's
And he said he didn't recognize Jonathan Bailey.
I do declare. This week's winner of Trailer Takedown is Jurassic World Rebirth. Please, let's go to gut reaction.
Gut reaction.
And we are starting this week with Tabitha. I almost added this to my stories, but then I was like, okay, I know the person who is absolutely going to add this to her stories, and I didn't want to take that from you. So let's talk about Buffy.
Thank you so much. So starting this off with the fact that today Sarah Michelle Gellar finally addressed this, I'm going to just read from her Instagram if I can find it. So you might have heard some news this week, but I realize you haven't heard from me. 3 years ago, I got a call. Wow, we're all a mess. 3 years ago, I got a call from my dear friend and mentor, Gail Berman. She told me that she wanted me to sit down with Chloe Zhao to hear her take on a potential Buffy revival. I was blown away that Chloe even knew who I was, but as I've always done, I told Gail that I just didn't see a way for the show to exist again. We'd always been aligned on that, but this time I heard something different in her voice. I eventually agreed to go, mainly just to meet Chloe, and our 20-minute coffee quickly turned into a 4-hour adventure. We laughed, we cried, but mostly we both talked about how much the show means to us. While I didn't agree to anything at that meeting, I did shock myself by agreeing to continue the conversation. These conversations did, in fact, continue over the next few years, and eventually we added the incredible Nora and Lila Zuckerman to our little tribe until ultimately one day we landed on an idea. I have always listened to the fans and heard your desire to revisit Buffy and her world, but it was not something I could do unless I was sure we would get it right. This has been a long process, and it's not over yet. I promise you, we will only make this show if we know we can do it right. And I will tell you that we are on the path. I feel so lucky to be on this journey with these 4 unbelievably talented women, all of whom love Buffy as much as I do and as much as you do. Thank you to all the fans who never stopped asking. This will be for you. Until I read that today, my skeptical brain was like, "Brr." After reading that, 10 out of 10, 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up. If Sarah Michelle Gellar says it's okay with me. Bring on the Buffy revival.
Matt.
Yeah, I am with you on that. I have not made it all the way through the show, but I've made it far enough to have an affinity for the characters and for the lore and everything about it. And if Buffy's behind this, let's go, B. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
Yeah, if it had not come from her directly, I probably wouldn't believe it either. But if she is on board with it, then I am on board with it. So thumbs up.
Yeah. Never been a big Buffy fan at all, actually. I've never watched it. Nothing against it. But that said, I still do recognize the importance of this series and this fandom. So just the fact that this is coming together in a good way, thumbs up. Matt, let's talk about Anaconda.
So there have been rumors for a little while about a rehatching of Anaconda. Deserve that. It was
You
worth
did.
it.
It's gonna be a really big egg.
Lydia!
How's it feel, guys? How's it feel? You're all tied with me right now.
Hey, I still ended last year with 0 shames. Thank you very much.
And
That was last year's Lydia.
and she'll end this year's with 0 as well. She always does something to get them removed.
She's not wrong.
So an Anaconda reboot is in the works. Jack Black, in his typical Jack Black fashion, announced a number of the other cast members in a little video online where you're musical style. The musical video includes Jack Black and Paul Rudd playing bongos. But in there, they announced that, yes, both of them will be in this movie, as well as Thandie Newton, Selton Mello, Daniela Melchior, and Steve Zahn. So, I don't know. That first movie was so bad. But Jack Black isn't here for this. So, tentative thumbs up. Just for this casting, we'll see. This movie's still probably going to be absolutely awful.
Lydia.
I never actually seen the first one, but I've seen enough of like various trailers for it to know that this would be a dumpster fire of a movie anyway. I don't think we need a reboot of that, so I'm gonna go thumbs down.
I'm going to give it a thumbs sideways. It's not for me, dog, but if somebody else is happy with it, then fine. Tabitha.
You know how I feel about Steve Zahn. Thumbs up.
Lydia, let's talk about Rooster Teeth.
Yeah. So almost a year ago, Rooster Teeth had announced that they were going to be shutting down after like 21 years of producing content and stuff because Warner Brothers had failed to find a buyer for them. Well, they finally found one in one of the original co-founders of Rooster Teeth, Bernie Burns. So he and his company, Box Canyon Productions, have officially reacquired, I guess, for him, the Rooster Teeth brand, along with all of its assets, including the website and its social channels. He actually said, "I am excited at the challenge of bringing back Rooster Teeth to its roots. The heart of this brand has always been its fans, and I look forward to writing a new chapter together." I'm excited. This has always been one of those kind of niche fandoms, I think. And for somebody that founded it to now have control over it again, I think is going to breathe a new life back into it in the proper way. I feel like they kind of got off track when Warner Brothers took over for them. So I hope that he kind of brings it back to, like he said, its roots and like just brings it back to where it started and to the fans. So I am going thumbs up.
No, that's awesome. Definite thumbs up. Yeah, hopefully he can bring it back to its Rooster Teeth. Tabitha.
Lydia's happy. I'm happy. Also, I took Lydia's shame away.
What did she do to get her shame taken away?
She existed.
I exist. Do I get any shames taken away? Matt.
I remember talking about this when it was being shut down, and you were discussing some of those conglomerates buying those smaller properties. It's a good thing that one of the original creators has been able to reacquire this. Like you said, Lydia, I hope they breathe new life into this and bring this back to the roots of, where they started and what they were doing it for. I had heard of it long ago. I had never gotten into it, but I hope that this is like a revitalization for them. So thumbs up.
Matt, let's go to the Toxic Avenger.
So a couple of years ago, there was a reboot of that 80s cult classic movie, The Toxic Avenger. Peter Dinklage is the star of this film as the Toxic Avenger. It was made and then it kind of got canned. It got shelved. Nobody couldn't get a distribution for it. But that has changed. And while it was originally set to premiere in 2023, it is now officially set for a theatrical release on August 29th of this year. It's they were able to find a distributor, so this will come to see light. It was interesting because the article that I found did note that in the few festival screenings that this movie did get before it kind of fell away, it does have a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't know. I remember watching the cartoon comic Toxic Avenger. I never saw the original movie, so I don't know. I think it'll be fun to see this emerge from the shadows, if you will. But I don't know. I'd like to see a trailer to get a better idea, but I'm going to go thumbs sideways until we, again, get that trailer and some more, concrete details.
Lydia.
I don't really have much to go off of, so I'm just going to go thumb sideways.
Yeah. I'm also going to go thumb sideways. That Rotten Tomato score is very promising, but at the end of the day, I want to see a trailer to make my own opinion.
Yeah.
Tabitha.
Yeah, same. I can't do anything without a trailer, but that's a crazy high Rotten Tomato score for something I would not expect. So thumbs sideways.
So there's a lot riding on this year's Super Bowl, including the name of a certain pizza-loving rat. Chuck E. Cheese locations in Philadelphia and Kansas City placed a bet on this year's game. If the Eagles win, Kansas City locations will be renamed Chuck Eagles Cheese. However, if the Chiefs win, Philadelphia locations will become Chuck E. Chiefs. Giving this a huge thumbs up. I love when, you see like mayors doing this kind of stuff all the time, but to see like a fast food chain, Chuck E. Cheese of all people, just fantastic. I love this. I don't really have a horse in the Super Bowl race.
A mouse.
A mouse in the race, yeah.
Oh, the rat race.
Oh.
But that said, Chuck E. Chiefs sounds way better than Chuck Eagles Cheese, so I guess I'm rooting for Kansas City now. Tabitha.
What a weird marketing scheme. Thumb sideways.
Matt.
I'm with you on the fact that I do always like to see the mayors like bet against each other for the Super Bowl and the World Series and that's the kind of stuff. Fast food, definitely an interesting take. Honestly, they're going to get a thumbs up just for like modifying the name in a creative way. I don't want the Chiefs to win, but I do think that name is a little bit better. But thumbs up for the creative forces at work here.
Lydia.
This feels like Chuck E. Cheese is like, people are kind of like forgetting about us and not really paying attention to us anymore. So we need to do something to make them pay attention again. I'm not sure this was the right move, though. So I'm sideways.
I'll never forget about you, Chuck E. Cheese. One of these times we're going to have Chuck E. Cheese for podcast pizza.
Can you just get...
Yeah, that too.
Can you just get the pizza?
Yeah.
I thought you had to
Be there.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know you could get it for
I thought I had
takeout.
to be around the rat to eat the rat's food.
No. Okay, so when I worked there'd be people who would get that takeout, not infrequently. And, yeah. And plus, I believe they're on DoorDash, not even as Pasquale's, which they did that during the pandemic. I think that's still a thing. But I think even Chuck E. Cheese itself is on DoorDash.
The one time I was at Chuck E. Cheese, I wouldn't eat the pizza because it smelled like feet in there.
I mean, it always smells like feet in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't eat pizza when I smell feet. So does the pizza come here and then we open the box and there's a pizza feet smell? Is that how it works?
Pizza?
Pizza feet.
Good Lord.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't had Chuck E. Cheese pizza in going on 20 years.
I thought he was
so...
going to say 6 months.
A pepperoni pizza is $22.
But that's on DoorDash. I mean, I'm sure it's still expensive.
That's on their website.
What? Does that at least come with some tokens?
I don't think so.
You better bring me a friggin' skee ball track along with that DoorDash pizza.
Anyway, while we're discussing I'm not having a stroke.
Smell burnt toast.
While we're discussing pizza, Tabitha, let's talk about Onyx Storm.
So I have not read these because I have this problem where when people tell me books are really good and I don't believe them, I refuse to read them. But this is the third book in the... What are they calling it? Are they calling it the... Oh my God.
Fourth Wing?
This last book called Onyx Storm released last week. And they have already sold 2.7 million copies. That is one of the fastest selling adult novels in over 2 decades.
Wow.
Like I said, I have not read these. Dragon porn is not really my favorite genre. And the little bit I have read of the first book is... These are books for people who don't read. And I think we need those kind of books out in the world. And I think these books have started a trend of people reading again. And, like, there are people that are, like, very into this. Like, have the tattoo and, like, whatever. And while it's not my jam, anything that brings more literacy to the world brings me happiness. So thumbs up.
Matt.
So we were in St. Louis this past weekend, and we walked into a number of bookstores, and I almost got by a display for this book because it just had dragons on it, and I'm a sucker for dragons, and I'm like, oh, cool, that's an awesome bookmark. I'm like, oh, God, it's one of those. Oh, man, I got to walk away now. Like,
Did anybody see me?
yeah, right? Like, looking over my shoulder, like, who saw me? No, okay, nobody? Good. All right, I'm out of here. Yeah, it's a mixed bag because are they probably trash? Yes. Do they get more people to read? Yes. So I guess thumb sideways.
Lydia.
Yeah, I mean, what he just said, like, they're probably not any good, but people are reading, so that's good. I will say, though, like, I have noticed an uptick of these kind of books in, like, Walmart and stuff with the design on the pages, and I want them because they are pretty.
I love a sprayed edge.
Yes. But overall, thumb sideways, I guess.
Isn't, like, the smut level on this, like, filthy?
I don't really know. I know that it's like they call it romantasy is what is like the technical genre name for it. Like it's like a whole genre, even on like the Goodreads year-end thing now. Romantasy has become its own category. I don't know what the smut level is like, but any smut level for me is usually too much because I can't take, like, it's not that I'm a prude. I just can't take it seriously because I'm like, how do they get that? And then I'm trying to like figure out how
physics.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not having a good time because I'm confused. Like,
I did see a clip online regarding the smut level on this. It was Rebecca Yaros in this, like, you know, auditorium doing a Q&A type of thing. And one of her kids was up in the balcony, and they like diverted a question to them about these quote unquote spicy scenes in the book. And her son answered, and he goes, yeah, I've read them because my mom wrote them, but it's really uncomfortable.
awkward.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
So I think it was like maybe around Christmas time, New Year's, something like that. Like Audible was running a special like 3 months for $1 or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And so like I recently canceled that prescription. Not prescriptions, subscription. Jeez. I recently canceled that subscription, and it was like, hey, you've got credits, you know, use them or lose them. And Onyx Storm was available for credit. I almost got it just for S's and G's.
The last one in a trilogy?
Well, first off, I didn't know that. I just knew that it was like the new hot thing.
Hence the dragons.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, but I decided not to. But either which way, I mean, yeah, sure, like dragon smut, not for everybody. I'm not saying if it is or not, is not for me. But if it gets people to read, thumbs up. Matt, let's talk about Ninja Turtles.
So Ninja Turtles and Puma. Yes, I get the irony there. fast, slow. Have a collab going where there are sneakers being released by Puma, which are designed to represent. There's four different designs. Leonardo and Michelangelo are one set. Raphael and Donatello are another set. Krang is a third set, and Baxter Stockman is yet a fourth set. These are being released weekly. The first set is a mix of purple and red, Donatello and Raphael, releasing on February 8th. The Leonardo and Michelangelo set is green, blue, and orange. Those are being released on Valentine's Day. The Krang set is ultraviolet, fast pink, and speed yellow. They're saying for an extraterrestrial look, which makes sense. Those are being released February 22nd. And then the Baxter Stockman is an iridescent design in black to match the mad scientist's unpredictable personality. They are released online at like 10 a.m. each week. They are $135 a piece for the pair for like the pair. If you get all four of them, then I think you qualify. Like you have to be like show your receipts or whatever, but then you have an opportunity to get a MB04 shredder sneaker that's going to be available for free to only 444 people who purchase all four sneakers in this set. They look super cool. They're way too expensive. And 4 sets of them, and you have to be online at the right time. There's going to be a gazillion people that go after these, but this is just ridiculous. I love the design, but like limited quantities, online release. Have to get all 4 to get the shredder set. Like it's just, it's all a marketing ploy. But what isn't anymore? I'm gonna go thumb sideways because I think it's a cool idea. It's a cool mashup. The designs are cool, but price and everything kind of just says no for me.
Lydia.
So I haven't looked at them, but for some reason when you said that 2 of the turtles were one set, my brain split the colors, so one is one color and one's another. So I was thinking, so you're just gonna have a pair of non-matching shoes?
That's
it's a thing now.
It is just a thing now, but it bugs me.
They're like, it's like the Michelangelo and Leonardo ones. It's like green, like they're both green, and then like the backside, like up by the heel, is blue or orange.
Gotcha.
So
that's not as bad. But yeah, so overall, like it sounds really cool, but I know they're gonna be ridiculously priced, and yeah, they're gonna try to crash the internet because people are gonna try to be online at the same time, and it's just not gonna be a good time.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go thumb sideways.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up because I do like the idea. I'm sure, I haven't seen the designs. I'm sure the designs are really cool. And anything from about Ninja Turtles is usually going to give me a thumbs up anyways. But yeah, like I think that paying $50 for a pair of shoes is too much. So $130 for a pair of shoes, like, no.
Times 4.
Exactly. And yeah, and if you get all 4 to get the 5th one, like, if that were me, like, I'm not going to wear shoes that I ended up paying $500 for. So at that point, I've wasted money. But yeah, definitely not for me, but still kind of cool. Tabitha.
This is a bunch of things I don't like. Spending money on shoes, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thumbs down.
So Netflix has announced its latest series, a reboot of Little House on the Prairie. Based on the book series of the same name by Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House follows the Ingalls family, a very traditional and Christian family who lived on a small Minnesota farm in the late 1800s. The log line for the reboot reads, quote, part hopeful family drama, part epic survival tale, and part origin story for the American West. This fresh adaptation of Laura Ingalls Wilder's iconic semi-autobiographical Little House books offers a kaleidoscopic view of the struggles and triumphs of those who shaped the frontier.
I like how you spit out kaleidoscopic, but not autobiographical.
I'm a strange man. I am giving this a thumbs down. It's of all the streaming services that I could imagine to reboot Little House on the Prairie, Netflix not in my top 5. I would think that would be on the Chick-fil-A app, but but still, like, this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know how they're going to reboot it and make it for today's audiences, but whatever they do to make it for today's audiences, they shouldn't. Like, that's one of those series that where it's like, it's iconic for a reason, and any way that they change it is going to just not be good. Tabitha.
Yeah, there are some things that do not need a reboot, and this is definitely on that list. I'm giving this a thumbs down. We don't need any more of whatever this is trying to promote in society right now.
Matt.
I have never seen any of these. I think I read one book. My sister absolutely loved everything about this when she was a kid, which is probably the reason why I've not watched or read any of it. I think she would even be in shock and against this reboot because, like Tabitha said, this is a classic. It's iconic. And there's some things, again, there's some things that just don't need to be rebooted and redone. So thumbs down.
Lydia.
Yeah, I also agree. This does not need to be remade or like re-looked at or anything. Just leave it alone. But I also think this episode is a kaleidoscopic view of the struggles and triumphs of us trying to speak.
Yep. Yep.
We are the struggles.
Matt, you have our last story tonight, and we're keeping with a little tradition here. So on the surface, this story probably isn't last story worthy. However, I know how we are. Especially, I know how I am. So this immediately went to the end. So what's Lil Debbie doing?
I also knew that when I posted this that it was probably last story material because of who we are as a group. There is nothing that isn't innocent, if you will, about this. But Little Debbie is mashing up 2 of your favorite snacks. They're putting together peanut butter and chocolate. By making I can't even say this, Nutty Buddy cream pies.
Oh my god.
I'd like a word with their marketing department.
Right? Who thought this was a good idea?
It says fans of the classic Nutty Buddy wafer bars can now savor all the rich peanut butter and chocolate flavor in a new soft and chewy sandwich cookie format. 6 Nutty Buddy cream pies.
Oh,
That's so many cream pies.
It's a lot.
You need to get checked out after that. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Are you supposed to eat them all at once?
no. I mean, you have to practice safe eating because they are individually wrapped.
Oh, that's nice.
How can you wrap a cream pie?
I guess we can find out because they should be available by the end of February.
That's what happens after Valentine's Day.
Oh, Lydia, you have a negative shame.
They have been teasing the launch of this product for a while. Right? Right? So it was not a surprise.
Oh, God.
Everybody knew this was...
Coming.
Thank you.
I hate when I get teased by a Nutty Buddy.
So, yeah. It's just... yeah. There's nothing that should be bad about this, but It's us.
We're all 12.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like any marketing should be like run past a panel of 12-year-olds or us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're here for all of your needs, corporate America.
Right.
But like, and I don't even know how long it's been now, but like, whenever they changed the name from Nutty Bar to Nutty Buddy, like, you knew what you were getting yourself into at that point.
It looks like a moon pie.
Yeah, it does look like a moon pie.
Oh, it does look like a moon pie.
It does. Yeah, it does.
I thought that's what it was.
I mean, so that's the thing. It's like the flavors, absolutely. Like, I would try one.
You would try Nutty Buddy cream pie?
There was no good way to say that, especially in this context.
Nope.
Not around these people.
Nope.
So we're not going to try one on air?
I don't
Wrong
think...
show.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Yeah, let's just end this now before anything else gets said.
Wait, you don't trust us?
I don't.
I mean, that's fair, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. Say bye or something.
Something.
Or something.
Bye.
That's going to do it for this episode of The Geek Awakens. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then shoot us an email at thegeekawakenspodcast@gmail.com.
It would be a shame if you didn't follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Geek Awakens Podcast or on Blue Sky at The Geek Awakens.
Music provided and created by E. Cannon Beats.
Logo created and designed by Shay McCain.
That's it for this week. We're boldly gone.